You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, man? This is your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today, I'm going to be talking to a fellow geek, a fellow podcaster, fellow vidcaster. Homie is an Uber geek. A pleasure to meet him through Podmatch. A big shout out to the other Al from Podmatch. Let me introduce the one and only from MC Anime, the one and only Maison Collawn. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, bro. Thank you for coming on and sharing your geekdom with us today so we could geek out and talk about the stuff that we love. So
yeah. I want to embrace the geekhood and be here for you.
Awesome. There we go. So talk about it, Mason. Let us know a bit about yourself, where you originally from, and what was your first love in fandom?
Ooh. So I'm originally from Virginia as an audience. So that's in the States. And a little bit about my first fandom that I first loved was Pokemon. I grew up as a child with the games, with my Nintendo Color and also DS system, and actually throughout the years got more upgrades through the games. So played various generations. First Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition. Ever since then, I'm a huge avid fan of the gaming, and then start watching more of the anime. I watched more of the anime as a child, but I pretty much caught up with everything with the anime wise.
All right, so how do you feel about the ending now that Pikachu and Ash have accomplished their mission? Do you think it was a truthful ending as a fan of the original?
I think he has a proper standing as an ending to set off the character that has been developing for 20 years.
Okay.
And I have actually talked about this in a podcast episode with another special guest in the Legacy of Ash and Pikachu. So
really,
I think they did a proper send off. So I approve them doing how they did it.
Oh, excellent. So talk about then you being a fan of all this stuff as a young man. Were you alone in your fandom, in collecting all this, or did you have a wolf pack, a tribe, if you will?
I didn't really establish the wolf pack tribe mentality until high school.
Okay.
So what kind of I was like branching out with, I had two kind of identities. One was film communication, so I was in TV announcements, doing awful level. So that was my inner fandom with my class and the people that were there with me all 4 years. So we had a little group together in that, and then the various clubs I did. So volunteering, and then I think probably the first like fandom base was a board game club. So I was about that for like 2 or 3 years. Really? So, I mean, that was probably like the first start to because I had a family friend who did a lot of board games. So that kind of what started that kind of having that tribe.
At the house, when I was a kid, the family would play board games. We would play Trouble a lot, and that's how they taught me how to bet, because you would play with, with pennies, especially with Snatcher. You had to pay like Snap, we would bet on it, and bingo.
A lot of the games that we have is like Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride.
Okay, those type of games. Gotcha. So
my next level, man. Used to own a
my ass.
My family friend Dan used to own a board game shop. So he had access to 20 plus years as a shop owner and selling games and tabletop gaming. So I had some serious games. And then when I was a child, my mom would actually have an entire laundry basket full of board games, and I would go to board game club with her. So it extended for my family, and then I found the tribe in high school.
Okay, bad. So how was that finding your tribe finally and a clique that enjoy what you enjoy?
It was very exciting because every single time that board game club came once a week, I would stay after school to do it, and play it. Just we did like a sort of like a D&D campaign, made our own
Okay.
characters. We had like a set out and stuff like
Oh,
that.
bet.
And then we played like Boss Monster. We had like, some games that we had in person, and then some games we bought from home as well.
Okay.
So it was just a mixture. Like, just having a group to play games with was actually fun. And this kind of later went down when I was in college when I found Anime Club.
Okay. All right, bet. So before we get into that, before we get into Anime Club, since you mentioned D&D, did you watch the new movie? And if so, what did you think of it?
I have not watched the new movie.
Okay.
I do think it's an interesting take among others, among Honor of Thieves. So I see a lot of potential. I do want to watch it. Just haven't found, I guess, the niche to just go watch it.
Gotcha. Get it done, kiddo, because I definitely want to know what you think. All right, so when did you find Anime Club? Was that also in high school? And if
That was in
so,
college.
that was in college. So how did you even discover it? I mean, yeah, I know you're already a fan of Pokemon, so that's anime. But when you talk about Anime Club, like what happened there? What did you discover new that increased your interest and now obviously inspired a podcast that we'll get into in a moment?
So what increased my interest in Anime Club was the convention culture. Actually, I started volunteering for conventions, and that became my new volunteer
Oh, wow,
hobby.
cool. So, well,
I would literally
what
spend like
conventions?
some of the conventions was like GalaxyCon,
Oh,
uh,
nice. I know Galaxy.
MallCon.
Nice.
I've hit up. I've planned my own convention with the club, RenoCon. I also did like RavenCon. Um, I hit up a lot of local in my area type conventions, Superstar
Cool.
Anime.
So the area is
Yeah,
popping, huh? With convention, the scene is hot over there.
yeah. We have my area. We have DC, which is a really big hot ticket for anime conventions. We have some in Richmond, just starting out. Virginia Beach, Norfolk, all in that area also have big conventions. And that's a big convention scene.
Well, excellent. So, what was your first convention, and what was that like for you?
Oh, my first convention. I think my first convention was probably GalaxyCon. It might have been
Okay,
GalaxyCon or one of the smaller conventions.
okay, okay. So,
So
how did you
I think
enjoy?
no,
So,
I
what do
know
you?
my
Oh,
first convention. It was
go ahead.
Comic Con in Richmond. It was my local Comic Con.
Okay. So what was the experience
That's
like
what
for
got me
you?
started. That was really good. Even though I spent more than I wanted to, because it was only vendors. That was the only entertainment you had. Just
My
going around
brother,
and spending your money.
that's the entertainment, spending it, finding your gems. I get you. I went to a con not too long ago, my friend, and I said, okay, I'm here to get footage. My ass, I walked out with 3 bags worth of stuff. I'm like, shit.
I never walked with that much, but given how I was expressing with it, I started going to more anime conventions once a month to actually promote entries for my blog, because the
Okay.
NC Anime was a blog before it became a podcast.
All right. So talk about that then. What inspired? How did you even build the blog? Was it a learning curve? What was that all about when you started it?
Um, so the idea behind the blog actually started from Anime Club. Funny enough, I started wanting to post personal posts on Facebook. I mean, I already did post on Facebook, my life, what I'm doing, stuff like that. but I started posting more anime stuff. But I realized that I was isolating the people who are on my Facebook account, my friends, and my, family, classmates, teachers. Most of them are not into anime. So I kind of branched off into actually having my own Facebook page set up for my own blog.
Okay.
And that's when I start posting the Facebook groups more and more. And then that's when I start spreading out to more social media and actually posting on the social media. I think at one time I had 15 different platforms that I was posting all in one night.
Oh, jeez. That kept you busy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I got to like 200 plus entries, but at that point, it was very time consuming in, what I'm going to write about, editing, creating a collage of a like cover art of my own design, and then put it all together on the different platforms. And some of the platforms were only images, so I would take entire screenshot of the entire paragraphs that I wrote for the blog and then post it as a picture, like Pinterest or Flickr. Uh, It was interesting.
Yeah, well, Pinterest is hot. People be underestimating the power of Pinterest. Pinterest be crazy. My traffic there be insane. I wish I had the traffic on my website that I would get on Pinterest. Let me tell you, because they murder it. I love it.
Pictures do good, but a picture of several paragraphs, not so much. It's like
Yeah.
people still like look at it, but like they want a picture and then have a summary underneath. That's what they like.
Yeah, that's what I say, man. What I would say you do is like crop the picture and put
Yeah.
just a little bit, a tease of one of the lines, dot dot dot, read the rest at, boom, and your website right there. You put that website right there, then people just go boom and they see what they see. That's how you market it. You gotta tease, man. You gotta be like a strip boy, man. Mason, you got to get on the pole and dance for them with your content, tease them with it, you know what I mean? And,
Well,
and get it
Facebook
done.
makes it really easy to post a picture and then post the captions or the description underneath. So that concept pretty much does most of the platforms that I use when I upload the picture with the
Man,
blog
I would
entry.
put it right on it. I mean, I would edit it myself when I put it on the picture so everybody sees it, not just
True.
because again, people see an image, but a lot of people won't read. It is called engagement for a reason, right? You know what I mean? So the picture got to
Yeah.
entice. So at the very least, I think if you put up the picture with the verbiage on it, now they've seen it with what the hell you mean with the message, as opposed to them just looking at an image and then most likely they're not even going to read what you wrote and scroll up because they already saw the image. Believe you me, that's
True.
people's attention span, man. Come on, I've been doing this for a minute.
I think I think I have a better success with the podcast cover art that I use
Excellent.
because it has the logo, it has the episode, it has the special guest, it has the banner at the bottom. So it gives a really good feeling. If they're really interested, they will go, like it, whatever. You know, even if you like post a short summary, they tend to like the short summary and like it on social media. So that's kind of how that builds up.
So talk about that change from the blog to doing, a podcast now. I mean, what encouraged you to
Yeah.
finally, make the change and transition?
The transition, the blog got too much. So I put the blog on side for like, a year, some change. This is also when COVID hit, so it's less motivating to do it.
Okay.
Um, I started live streaming. I got the idea to do about like 20 so live streams on Facebook Live
Okay.
where I want to do older blogs and actually talk about it in a PowerPoint setting. That was my live stream. That was less what I wanted to do because I'm still more preparing the PowerPoint slides for the visual aid because at the time, that's when I got my webcam.
Okay.
I was only limited to me showing my face and not showing anything else, or showing the visual aid, which is the PowerPoint. So I showed the PowerPoint, which was probably boring, but I didn't have a split screen option, so oh well. I did that for a little bit, didn't want to do it anymore because there's still a lot of work. And then after the fact, I was actually in a VTuber channel, YouTube. They started a podcast, and then I watched a couple of episodes of the podcast. I was like, why can I do this?
Okay.
I could do the same thing and put my own spin on it, because I already did with the blog, so I'm already have an idea how I'm going to do it, so let's do it like that.
Okay.
So that's when I launched MCMA podcasts, like anime, geek culture, cosplay, manga, stuff like that. And then I rebranded into anime, geek culture, Asian studies, and Japanese aesthetics.
Oh, all right.
So I made
talk
it
about that.
I had a very good co-host that I found on Indeed that actually applied, that wanted to do it. She helped me with the website, so I have my own website because of that. And
beautiful.
The rebranding was like the potential launching of the website. So I had to make everything uniform on all social media, Pinterest, Facebook, everything. And that's what the 4 talking points for what my podcast is about started from the relaunching.
Excellent. So, what inspired you to share that type of history, though, within the podcast now? Because you went from geek culture to also want to educate. So, where's that inspiration from?
I've always been like a big history buff when it comes to different discoveries, American history, world history. Even took some Asian civilization in college, so I was really interested in the actual history of it. Of course, with Japan, when you go, like, you think of the Edo period, the rise of the samurai, the Meiji period. You have different elements where it was all different. The isolation, you have all these, the isolationism, Western powers, World War II, sparking up the propaganda for anime to the United States. So you have all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to like capitalize on some of that and actually bring it to the podcast scene.
Excellent. Look at you, brother, making moves. So what's the overall all right, so what's the overall learning curve you had now building a YouTube channel? What was that like for you? Or has been so far?
It's been interesting. I had to find a way.
I love that. It's very true.
I had to find a way to backlog my content, but also have a video instead of audio. So the way I found it was reactive images. Reactive images are the ones that move, and I have to have a custom wavelength that goes with my audio and have a moving background. So that's how I devised that setup. So I have my graphic designer who makes my cover art actually post the video for the YouTube. I posted about 10 so far, but I need to update it. I'm probably going to upload each season, would probably be better. Because I have 3 seasons, almost going to the 4th season for the podcast.
Whoa! How many episodes per season? And congratulations, bro, going strong, kiddo. That's good.
My count for season, as I make it like an anime season. So the anime season is typically, 25 weeks to 50 weeks, depending on how many episodes goes on.
Okay.
So I kind of standard my based on like an anime season. So every new season, every 50 episodes is my new season. So I'm going to be posting another episode today, so that'll be 133 episodes.
Woo! Awesome, bro. Amazing. That's a big accomplishment. You know what I mean? To keep chugging along, and doing your thing. That's a lot of episodes. So awesome, bro. But a big
Yeah.
congrats on that, bro. That's an awesome achievement.
I probably have like 15 to 20 on backlog waiting to be uploaded. Already
Whoa.
edited by my sound editor and has graphic design from the cover art. So, yeah.
Oh man. So talk about the release schedule and where we could hear the show.
Okay, so the release schedule that I'm trying to do right now, so I'm implementing active days of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday as 4 potential days to upload.
Okay.
And right now the plan is to upload 2 days a week, depending on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, the days to look for notifications, depending on my schedule, because I also work a full-time job.
So will this be exclusive to YouTube, your shows?
Um, I post on the website, and I
Okay.
usually am posting on the podcast directories first. The
Okay.
YouTube is on backlog, so it's going to take a while to catch up on the YouTube scene.
Gotcha.
If I exclusively went on YouTube when I first began, then I'll be on YouTube as like the main platform with Spotify, with Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcast.
Okay.
So it was kind of like I'm backtracking with YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Understood. Yeah,
it's like,
definitely. You
well,
got
I
to
need to
use the power of
capitalize
your
on it.
website. Listen, you got to use the power of your website. I tell that to everybody because once you have a website that's actually your brand, no one could tell you what content you could put on your website. So it's your content, which is controlled by you, totally independent. Vidcasting, podcasting. A salute to you for taking that route. You know what I mean? That's a good route to take,
Yeah.
though, because if you plan correctly just on the traffic alone from the website, you could probably make incredible revenue.
Yeah. And before I actually had the website relaunched, well, before I actually launched a official website, I was using my Facebook page as for the temporary website.
Okay.
When I
And
first was planning the podcast, it's like, I only have the Facebook page and it only has like 700 likes, so I guess I can use this as the website. I wasn't really like
yeah,
thinking
nah,
of
man.
when I was doing the blog. When I actually did the blog, I actually had an official blogging website.
Yeah,
So, but it feels nice to have it. I post on the website, then I post on the RSS feed, then my social media, and then that's how I. Now it's like maybe 7. That's it. That's all I
okay.
had to worry about. It's really
Okay, excellent.
easy. So,
There you go. There you go. Like, see, folks, make it easy. So, what tools did you find, that were easy, that changed the game for you and allowed you to step up your game and actually not work as hard? Work smarter, not harder, they say, right?
there's a combination of things actually. So planning ahead, recording, doing pre-recording, because podcasts you have an option to do pre-recording. You don't have to always go live. So that
hmm
was another feature. If you want to plan ahead, you can have the recording, and then with that recording, you can get it. You can plan, get it edited. Have time to prep it. Go through it and make sure it looks right. So when
Yeah,
you present it, you have a good piece to present to the audience that's engaging. Trim down on parts, or have a raw version with just some music in the background. So that
yeah,
works well. Live stream, definitely have 4 talking points. The way I work my podcast is I have, okay, so we're talking about how to find a hobby, okay? You find a community, you collect, you need to have a budget because you don't want to overspend,
heck yeah,
and you also need to be able to identify what you want to add to your collection to expand that collection. So when you do that, you want to have 4 different talking points to
oh brother,
go on. So when you're on topic, you stay on topic because you prevent the tangent long
Yes.
conversation instead of
The
like,
rabbit holes.
yeah, the rabbit hole tend to like throw people out and
Yeah,
lose focus in the engagement.
I
So
agree,
the
man.
talking points allows the rabbit holes to be less and go back
Yes.
on topic.
See, you hear this, folks? That's real instruction on how you manage, and the flow of the show and the conversation, real talk. And I like how you said that because today I was looking up some Megatrons to add to my collection, and I think I found the perfect one from NDX. 50 points of articulation. It's like a 7.04 inches. It has it's metal die cast metal parts in it, and also I'm like, okay, I think this is the Megatron I need on myself next. See, I don't know if you can see my background not too closely, but I'm obsessed too. So I need to listen
Oh
to you
yeah.
how I could keep it on a budget, bro.
Yeah, how to do a budget is definitely important for a hobby, especially for collecting as a hobby.
Yes, man. That's
You
very
can
nice.
overspend very quickly and not realize it, and then you let like, for instance, when I started Yu-Gi-Oh, I just bought any deck that I thought was cool.
Oh
Little did I
God.
know, it went to a rabbit hole of more money than I wanted to spend.
And like at the casino, right? You just can't stop. You know. Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh. I get it,
I
man.
you know
Collecting is an
being a
addiction too, man.
blackjack dealer, for
Hey,
private
you are?
events is kind of
Oh
fun too
shit.
because uh you get to see how people spend their money with fake money. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just fake money. I would not do this at a real casino
Yeah.
mentality.
Oh man, and you're there like that's how I am in real life with my collectibles. Jesus Christ, should I stop? Right, you're probably thinking that you're doing like, God damn, do I look like this crazy? Listen, bro, I'm hooked. This is my shit. But it's all good. We love our families, brother. So before we go, brother, what would you tell someone, man, trying to build a channel, trying to build up like you are? And folks, before you even answer that, you see, folks, I've been sharing these awesome links below. So please follow my friend right here, yo. He's an honorary crusader now too, man. He's out there sharing positivity and goodness in the world of anime. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
mcanimepodcast.com. Check out the website, stay tuned to everything he's doing. And all his socials, just go to the link tree, MC Anime. The link is below. So you go ahead and click away, show the love, show the love. So amazing independent podcasters that are bringing you awesome content. You know what I mean? So go ahead, brother. Answer
Yeah.
that question, bro.
And if you want a short version, instead of typing the website, type in MC Anime Podcast. All my SEO comes up in the Google search inquiry. And then if
Woo!
you also type in Linktree MC Anime, that also comes up as well. So those are some shortcuts that actually in the SEO that you can do yourself and just type it in instead of basically just take the easy way in to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what would you tell somebody trying to step into the game today?
I would tell them first, you need to identify what you're doing. So if you're doing a podcast, you need to be on the major platforms. That's Apple, Google, Spotify, and YouTube. You also have to be active on the main social media. This is like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Reddit is a good option. Pinterest is a good option. TikTok is okay, but it's not necessarily the best platform if you don't want to be on it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So you need to have that active social media to get new listeners. And also, if you don't have a website, try to manipulate a website in the future in your branding process so you have that website to share as well.
Yes, yes. I think that the website is actually one of the main key points and real power points, that you'll have in your arsenal as a content creator. Because when you own your site, now again you really do have a real freedom of speech, if you will, because it is your site. Who's gonna block you? Who's gonna pull
Yeah.
your content? It belongs to you. You feel me? So that's where your
Yeah, and
power really
social
does lie.
media is it's only a temporary website, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's
Unless
not
you're an
yours.
artist, you only need an Instagram. So IG is the only thing you need. But
Well,
you're not
I
if you're
mean,
not an artist, you want to do
I
a
would
podcast.
counter that. I would say Twitter is great too because for comic books, at the
Yeah.
very least, it has one of the most wonderful comic book communities. At the end of the day, when you really do ignore all the bullshit, like you're
Yeah.
able to get the block button
Yeah.
people and the mute button of certain keywords, is your friend. So if you want to have a good experience, know how to experience it. That's all. Every social media has
Yeah,
its good
Twitter's
and its
really
bad at the end of
good
the day.
website. Twitter's good for the updates. Twitter's best for the update content. Instagram is better for the personal content or story content. Facebook
agree
is
there.
just for the news content.
Facebook is Facebook.
Facebook is news, Twitter's update, and then Instagram is either personal content or story content, short content.
Yeah, I gotta use
So
Insta
that's
a little
how I
bit more.
divide those up.
I gotta do Insta a little bit more. I'm over the Twitters and and the YouTubes and doing stuff like that. That's kind of the stuff I'm into. But I definitely gotta keep
And
expanding.
YouTube is more long length content too. So if you want to do long length content, YouTube is your best friend with that as well.
Absolutely, man. But Twitter getting into it last night. Apparently, Elon tried one of those long form streams, and he looked like 8-bit Elon last night. I was dying. It was hysterical. But listen, bro. I mean, they're trying to help content creators. So kudos to them. So I'm not gonna argue with that. Anything's gonna help us in the community to make a little bit of revenue doing what we love. Why not? So with that, Mason, thank you so much again, folks. All the links are below. Follow my homie here, especially the anime. He's gonna keep you on your 1 and 2s right there. Let you know what's popping in that universe and that culture, and with some awesome history. All right, so make sure to check it out. Mason, thank you again for your time. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Much love. Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.